Hola, we are back, and I am Ralph the coach with
Candy from Candy Conversations, also known as Candace Joy on social media outlets.
I'm Ralph the coach on social media. So, um, we did jump right on into this thing. So, are you bashing my head open today?
Um, that is never the goal. That is never the goal. But we
Okay.
are gonna focus in on work and how it influences our relationships today.
Oh, okay.
So our first question, you're gonna go first this time.
Okay.
If that's bashing your head in, then yeah. Can we say that? I'm sorry. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. We gonna find
We
out.
might need to cut. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, we're gonna start by talking about work and how it affects the relationships we're in or trying to create. So the first question is do gender roles have a place in your relationships? It doesn't have to be exclusive, but why or why not?
So for me, 50-50.
Hmm.
Um, I'm I'm a I'm a sprinkle of traditional.
Hmm.
So it just depends. Um, I don't yeah, it just depends. Like, yeah, I want you to take the trash out. That's your
Right,
job.
right,
That's your
right.
job. Um, I don't mind like cooking, but if you can put the dishes up, if I cook,
Hmm.
because then that would
Right.
help.
Yes.
Um, And then there are certain things that like just I would rather do because I have a ick about it. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? So then we'll depends. Like if we both have the ick, then I probably won't care. But if it's
Hmm.
like if I'm more like this is gonna make me itch if I don't do it,
Hmm. Hmm.
then that's why I say I'm 50-50 because it might be something that you're supposed to do. And then I'm also the type too where because I have been independent and daddy has taught me how to do this and the third, I
Right.
am good doing things on my own.
Hmm.
But I am that girl who like, babe, can you check my car? Because da, 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 even though I
Right.
know how to do it,
Hmm.
but I still will like to continue to learn because
Hmm.
when you're not around or if you're sick, I don't want to be helpless.
Okay.
So I do need a partner who is like, I'm the man, I do this, you don't touch this, that's fine.
Right.
But I still need to see if it's something I don't know how to do because when you're sick, I don't want to be sitting there. And I know some men who are like that, they don't like when other men have to do it. So don't put me
Hmm.
in a place where I have to call another man to help me because
Hmm.
you've never allowed me to do it or showed me.
Right.
Um, so when it comes to so that's why I say certain things. So I'm 50-50 on the gender roles. I'm not a stickler. Um,
Right.
if it's not, my thing is if it works, let's do it. If it doesn't, we need
Right.
to come up with something else.
Right. Right. Yeah. I agree. There are some things, as you described, there are some things I have the ick about, like laundry. Um, and it's not even so much of how the clothes, well, that, yeah. I grew up, you sort your laundry, like, so that things aren't getting miscolored or whatnot. You know
Oh,
what I'm saying? Some
mm-hmm.
people put everything in there. No, we ain't doing that.
No, yeah.
So you sort, I even am very particular about how my clothes are folded. So, and I don't mind folding clothes. So I tend to do the laundry, always. If I'm in a relationship where we're sharing or that is a responsibility. Um, I do I can cook. I don't mind cooking, but I don't always want to cook.
Yeah.
You know, like I don't always want to eat out, but I would like to have someone cook for me sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
This kind of and I agree with the like not wanting to be helpless. My dad did teach me a lot of stuff as well. Um, but I am learning my voice when it comes to asking for help. Like, hey, can you do this? Could you help this? Can you
Yeah.
take care of this? Because for so long, I've just been used to doing it all myself or paying
Mhm.
somebody to do it, which I don't
Yeah.
have, I still don't got no problem with that. Um, but yeah, trash, I'm not doing the yard work that I don't mind doing is planting some flowers or a plant.
Okay.
And I don't mind using the leaf blower. It's kind of cool. It's fun. But other than that, I'm good. I will pay somebody um to do that if that's not something that, my significant other wants to do. Um he's made it because he's like, I don't like yard work. I was like, cool, bet. And
Okay.
so we pay for it,
Yeah.
and that's just something that was an easy easy
Yeah. That
agreement
was the easy agreement. Yeah.
because we not about to have no grown up pulling down looking outside the house. No, we're not doing that. So yeah, I agree with that. Like I think, but as I was listening to you, it came to me like this is definitely something because I want to incorporate the weekly check-in thing too, and I'm trying to figure out the best way to do it. I know I'm probably overthinking it, but I do think one thing we could do is sit down and discuss gender roles, what they are stereotypically, and like, are there things that you really want to do as the masculine in this relationship, and are there things that like you would really want me to do? Because then we can write down what I want to do, what I would like for you to do, and then if those things don't match up, like I don't want to do this, and it's okay. Like this is I can give you 2 days of this. I can't give you 7 days of this. So what's your question? Like cooking is what I'm talking about.
No, I know that.
Mhm.
What it, why do you need to talk about what they are for? Like, why is there the breakdown of like the definition of gender roles?
To be clear that we are understanding them the same. We won't be spending a lot of time on it, but just to make sure that you like, I know what I think gender roles are, and we all know what they are stereotypically, but I need to just make sure it's understood on the other side too.
Give me an
In
example.
my situation,
I understand. Give me an example that you possibly think could be misconstrued about gender roles.
I don't even think it's necessarily the misconstruement as much as it is, do you know what they are?
Okay. But then yeah, then just ask that question because if it's a
Yeah,
yes, then there's some need to because then I feel like you're kind of insulting me.
I would to you.
No, no, no. But I mean, and I'm gonna say because if I say yes or you just go into it assuming, because then I'm gonna be like, why are we? I already know what this is. So that's what
Right.
they ask first instead of saying this is what we're gonna do.
I hear you. I have,
But I'm just saying
and
ask because if the
no,
answer is yes, then you don't have to waste that time, even if
but
it is.
sometimes the answer is yes, and it's really, I don't know.
Okay, but then if we get there,
Mm-hmm.
then we'll pause
Mm-hmm.
because it will be very, you know, prevalent if you don't know
Right.
what they are.
Right. Right.
Um, but if we get there and we're talking about it and I can clearly see that you don't know what they
Then
are,
backtrack.
then it's like, okay, let's pause here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But it needs to be addressed in a way like you don't know what it is
Right.
because those
Right.
words needs to be said. You don't know what it is, and that's okay. But in all situations, if I ask you, like if you
Mm-hmm.
know how to do something or not, I don't want you, when it comes to me, I don't want you
Right.
to feel shame or,
Right. Right.
and sometimes those words have to be said because,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying? I know those feelings are there. I understand why
Right.
you just said, oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. But I don't need you to do, oh, yeah, 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 when you really don't know. Because there'll be other conversations that are way more important, and I don't need you
Right.
to say, yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I think a part of me too is teacher vision, teacher ears, teacher. I can tell when anybody is telling me they know something, and I can read their body language and
Yeah.
tell they really don't. Like, you don't know this. That slight hesitation or that look to the ceiling, or those are things that I've been trained to look for.
Hmm.
And I was like, yeah, no, no, no. And so I'll even know how to start it, honestly, at a high level. Because if you don't know what I'm talking about, it's like, okay, so what are your thoughts on that? Like, and
And that's what I do. So
yeah,
if I feel you don't know, then I'm gonna just continue to go into it. And then
Hmm.
again, it will reveal itself.
Right,
Make sure that
right.
you have to do that. Just say no.
Look, I love not knowing something. That's an opportunity to
I
learn.
mean, I'm gonna tell you no. No, I don't.
Exactly.
But go ahead and tell me how to do it.
But and this is good because this helps with highlighting, not that we were blind to it, either one of us, but highlighting how so often, like something like that can become a trickle effect, right?
Okay.
Somebody's feeling inadequate, someone's getting frustrated because it's like, but we don't mind not knowing. It's and I find myself questioning, and I know it goes back. I know it goes back to childhood, but I do find
It all do.
myself going to the like, what happened to you that you think you got to know everything all the time? It's okay to not know.
I got in trouble.
That yeah,
So
you're
you're
right.
telling me it's okay, and I've been told all my life it's not okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So there's your answer right there. I got yelled at. I got beating.
And what I
I
told
had that
students is,
parent who
I
said, "Well, you're
can't do my
supposed to know."
best. Yeah, I can't. I tell my and I done had to tell a lot of parents that in the school setting, like, well, they can't do this. It's like they're not supposed to. Did you teach them? Because we haven't taught that yet.
Yeah.
Oh, well, how am I supposed? Right, but it's not a problem that they don't know. They are not supposed to if no one has taught them. Information isn't something that people naturally just pick
Wake up
up.
and
That's
know.
why there's a thing called a genius.
Yeah.
Because we don't just naturally get stuff. Someone has to teach us. So I don't know, but it definitely does have a negative effect on adults.
It
We end
does.
up it really does.
You get the
Um,
know-it-all because they're afraid of saying, I don't know.
right,
And so it's just, I'm going to say
right.
no, and then I'm just going to spew out a bunch of BS and wing it. And you're just like,
And
that is not.
well, now when you're dealing with a child and they do that, it's actually super hilarious. It's cute, and you know, like, okay, I need to teach them. But
Adults is a norm.
but those are usually kids who are allowed to truly express so that you get a chance to hear what they know and what they don't know. But yeah, it's that fine line where it's like it's okay to know or it's okay to not know, but what are the consequences of that? Or
Yeah.
the benefits of it. It shouldn't always be a consequence to the oops. Just get that paper tear out. But it doesn't always have to be a consequence of not knowing. So that's what creates safe space too, you know? So the next question though, what practices do you employ to maintain your work life balance?
This is for
Want
me.
me to go first?
It don't matter.
About to give you some cigarette water.
Oh no, I'm here. I'm here. I don't need no cigarette water.
Cigarette water is coffee. No offense to the coffee
Yeah,
lovers out there.
I
Sorry.
don't like coffee, so I call it cigarette water
Yeah.
because that's what it look like, and it smell like, and it tastes like. If
Hmm.
you could just put some cigarettes in the water, and
Um, I'll full transparency. I think I failed horribly in 2024 with work-life balance. All balance, but not just work-life balance, period.
have you had it
I
before?
spent the year overwhelmed. Huh?
Have you had it before?
Absolutely. Yes. When I was in the
We'll talk
classroom.
about that.
Whoop, okay. When
Talk
I
about
was in the classroom.
when you did have it and then not having it.
Oh, I thought you meant that I have the lack of balance before. But no, I did have
Ah,
I
sorry.
did
Okay, sorry.
achieve I did also achieve
No.
work-life balance.
Did you have work-life balance before? Because you said,
Yeah,
well, 2024, I didn't have it. So I was like, well, did you have it before? So did you have work-life balance before?
you know, we don't talk a lot about we personally offline talk a lot
Yeah.
about the hand of God on our lives. And I would tell you,
We don't?
no, I said we talk a lot offline about it.
Oh,
Like
I
not
think
we
that we
report
don't.
it.
I'm
No,
like,
we do. But I'm saying we haven't really talked a lot about it here so much,
oh,
but
okay.
like little bits and pieces. But I will say that I am truly thankful for the relationship I have with God, the relationship that I was taught to have, and how, even personally, how I refined it to best fit me. Because in 2023, I truly feel like I had work-life balance. I was okay saying no to things. I
Mhm.
made sure that I had like I was meal prepping, I was working out regularly, I was in therapy, I was attending church services. Like, so all of the things that I needed to balance out, like traveling and being online and doing these recordings, and even sometimes where it was like some days I would wake up and I had to learn to tell myself, you're tired, it is okay to rest. That something as simple as that creates that balance for you, because I'm no good to anyone if I'm exhausted. And then 2024 just said,
Mhm.
me. But I am so proud of myself, because the intentionality that requires, I see myself getting back to it. Like, do not get out of the bed, do not start your day, or do not touch that cell phone before you say your prayers, your gratitude, you do your visualizations. Those are the things that I was doing in 2023, and it made such a huge difference in my life. And I think the residual from that is what got me through 2024.
Okay.
Even though I wasn't doing any of it, like I found myself feeling guilty. I had to give myself that grace again, because I was doing so much that I lost sight of all of that. So now, even into the first month of this year, I have been very good at restoring those practices where it's like, if I grab my phone and I look just to look at the time, and I find myself going to open something, like, nope, I'll put it back down, and like visualizations. And I may not always do all of the things, but even just starting that day with my prayer, my gratitude prayer,
Mhm.
um, or just, sometimes it's just like, thank you for the day. If that's all I got, that's all I got. But I'm being thankful. And it's actually helping me set boundaries, which is ironic. I just that this just then. I feel like the days that I start my day like that, I protect my day better.
Okay.
If something gets canceled, or if I don't have something to do, like yesterday, I was supposed to fly out to Little Rock, and I knew at like 8:30 a.m. that I wasn't going again. I didn't tell anybody for almost 3 hours,
Right.
because I'm like, the second I do, the ball starts rolling.
Hmm.
So, and I sat in a daze. I was just like, oh, so tired. But just to do that, to have that, it's really empowering to feel like I don't have to announce everything all day, every day,
Yeah.
Um, and I say that's empowering because in this go, go, go hustle culture, you always feel like you got to fill in every second with something.
Yeah. Yeah.
And growth for me personally, and I would challenge anybody who feels overwhelmed, or if you find a minute, if there's a cancellation and you absolutely, if it's not burning down something, like, to take a minute, stop and just enjoy that you got some more time. Um, Time is something we can't ever get more of. It's the one thing that can't be replaced. So
Yeah.
when you get more of it, cherish it. Um, so yeah, that those things help me with work-life balance. So like right now, just in these first couple of weeks, I've gotten back to my meal planning.
Hmm.
Um, I like truly planning them out, planning the grocery list, and then prepping it. Not just planning it and being like, oh, that's cute, I got the plan. And then you go nickel and dime to get, like, I'm doing it all, because this is what I was doing before, and it helps. Just little things like that, and checking in with people who I know hold me accountable. I don't know if I'm pointing the right way.
You
That
were playing when you did the other way. He was going the right
way.
way.
So, um, another little small thing that I've learned that is truly impactful for me: walking my dog,
Hmm.
getting out in that fresh air. 'Cause I know for you, you say you like you walk over to your gym in your community, but it's just something about
Not all the
getting.
time. Not all the time. I mostly drive, even though it's a smooth minute and a half. I'm like, I don't feel like walking.
But sometimes, like just that fresh air,
Yeah.
is enough. Um, it's good for him, it's good for me. So yeah, I've been talking a lot. I'm gonna stop, but I'm talking a lot because I'm excited to see myself getting back to me. That's
Okay.
huge for me. So I'm if I'm doing it already, I'm really working hard to keep it at the forefront of my mind and to notice things so nothing gets in the way of that. But the question again was for you, how do you maintain your work-life balance? What do you do to maintain?
Um, so one, I want to jump on maybe the bandwagon. I can't remember the guy's name, but um he was saying only in America do we try to conform to this work-life balance thing, and it's not real
Mm,
because shit's going to happen.
right,
Right.
right.
And so then that's where Americans, that's where we as people, we lose ourselves because it's interrupting the flow.
Mhm,
But there's
mhm,
always going to be something that interrupts the flow. And so my thing, I just try to continue even before hearing that is that's what I say. I just try to have a flow so that when things happen,
mhm.
it's not as big as it would have been.
Right.
So I meal prep my son's lunch because he doesn't eat school lunch. So I meal prep all the dried things, chips,
Mhm,
dried fruit, the snacks, candy, stuff like that all the way for the week. And then
mhm,
like sandwiches, stuff like that, and only do it till Wednesday. Because
mhm.
God forbid, just that one chance that my phone don't go off or we
Right,
wake up late, I don't have to also make lunch.
right, right.
Put out his clothes for the week. Because
Mhm,
again, now I don't also have to try to figure out what you're going to put on because you already know where to go. The stack is over there for the whole week. Grab your clothes.
mhm,
We are late.
mhm, mhm.
So I like to have a flow because even if I'm not late, even if something didn't happen, then it's just boom, boom, boom out the door.
Right,
You
right.
know what I'm saying? And then that's how I like to have my things like, I'll have my workout clothes for the week.
Mhm, mhm,
So
mhm.
I call my Sunday reset. And
Yep.
I used to do this on um when I was single, I would do my Sunday reset on Thursdays. Because
Mm.
if I was to go out Sunday, I don't want to do nothing.
Right,
So
right.
Thursdays, the house is clean. I already got what I need for the week. I've already done my shopping. I have my clothes. My clothes are clean. They're washed, folded. They're good to
Mhm,
go. So then I'm just chilling on Sunday. I might fix my dinner. And so now I mostly do all the things, except for clean. I still do clean on Thursdays,
mhm.
but mostly like getting school clothes, getting clothes ready. I'm like, check that book bag, clean out that book bag. Like, because I
Yes.
need for him to get like, you need to prepare yourself for the entire week. So then if change of schedule happens, if this happens, then those are kind of like minor things because I don't have to move in the moment.
Right, right.
You know what I'm saying? So, um, and then also too is motivation. When you already have stuff ready, you can like, well, damn, I don't want to waste it. Let me go ahead and put these clothes on and go to the gym. I already got my clothes
Mhm,
out. Might as well just go ahead and go.
mhm,
I've already prepped this. Let me just go ahead and do it. I've already did the work, so might as well.
mhm.
So I just try to have a flow for things
Right.
because again, everything is not gonna always work out like how we think it is or want it to. So let me not fight myself and let me help myself. When I used to live in Charlotte, the pastor, and I think I'm assuming because I think I've heard this. I don't know if it's all of them, but I know the Qs have something. So I'm just assuming the Divine Nine has something that's similar to this. A lot of people have their Ps, the five Ps.
Mhm, mhm,
Proper preparation prevents poor performance.
mhm,
I
mhm.
go by that. I used to carry it around. I used to every like position that I got when I used to work at the bank, I used to stick it up in my cubicle. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. If I prepare, then I can potentially prevent me having a poor performance.
Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Mm-hmm.
So do what's in your realm of I can assist with this, you know?
Right. Right.
So I just try to have a flow. That's it. Everything else is out of my control. The more I try to control things, the less hair I probably
Listen.
have. And we
Woo!
already at we are
Girl,
we already at
she cut that junk. Don't mind this girl.
whatever. You didn't have to say that.
We are not gonna let these people think that you out here losing your. No, no. They were like, "Oh my gosh, I got to do a Sunday reset so I can
So
keep
my hair
my
don't fall out.
my life."
But yeah, so that's what I just try to
But yeah,
prepare.
you made me remember when I was. Everybody thinks it's crazy, but I don't care. I like when people think some of the things I do is crazy. Because when I was in the classroom,
Pause
I
for
would
a
prep
minute.
my
It's not that people think that you're crazy. You are crazy because you're an Aquarius. You okay, now go.
I think
Ours?
what is it, the seven habits of successful people? Am I saying
Uh,
that title wrong?
yeah.
It's on my bedside. I ain't read
No,
the
it
book
is.
yet.
Yeah, seven. It is seven because I think if I'm not sure the number changed, but it
Oh,
is it is it is seven. I think for some
the
reason like
seven
five
habits of
is getting
successful people or something like that. But she was sharing that she read in there, and I that's on my to read list for this year.
seven habits of highly effective people.
Got it. But I feel like she said that was the book. I could be wrong, but they had
Oh,
something about.
I've read that. Well, I've audio uh
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
listened to the book, and there
Mm-hmm.
there are um, but it goes back to preparation.
Yeah. Yep.
It's just preparation, just like if you've seen the content from the man who makes the big ass calendar, it's like
Mm.
this, but it takes up the whole wall because it's
Yeah.
for the year.
You're
And
right. I like
he
that
said the
calendar.
reason why he did it was because when he was in corporate America, how the kids do clock this, clock this thing.
Mhm.
I noticed a lot of people from corporate America transition to entrepreneurship. It's trauma. Anyway, he was saying that his CEO was saying that his son was like the best on the soccer team. And it's
Mhm.
and it was because he had the calendar for his son. So every day for 5 minutes, just 5 minutes, he practices his soccer move or whatever.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
all the other kids only practice on the practice days.
Ah,
That's compound. His son is
right.
counting those 5 minutes every
Mhm.
day. And if you look at all those 5 minutes that add up, when it comes to the game and stuff like that, he's excelling everybody else. So if
Mhm.
you're like how you said, if you take that hour or 2 hours to,
Mhm.
map out what you're going to wear for the month, if you take that
Mhm.
hour, 2 hours to meal prep, that
Yes.
compounds to time that you have to do something else to so when people like I don't have time to do this, I don't have to, you do have time, you just
Right.
you don't make the preparation to make the time.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
one of the things that I am going to jump on my soapbox about is I've done 75 hard 3 times.
Mhm.
I think it's
Mhm.
3 times.
Mhm.
And the rules are you have your task, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And before doing 75 hard, one of the tasks is you have to read 10 pages every day.
Mhm.
I was an audiobook fanatic because I'm
Mhm.
gonna tell you right now, I don't have no time. I don't have no time. I don't have no time to sit
Mhm.
down and read no book. But
Mhm.
when you're doing a challenge that if you miss one of the tasks, you start all over. And I'm
Yeah.
like, honey, I got to get through these 75 days.
Mhm.
But then all
Mhm.
of a sudden you find the time.
Right. Right.
All of a sudden you find the
Right.
time because now
Right.
it's like, okay, boom. I am sitting down to prepare. How am I going to fit these tasks in my normal day? And the thing is, you can do whatever
Mhm.
you want to do,
Hmm.
Not necessarily have to do, but anything that you want to do, you will find the time to do it.
Hmm.
Because I wanted to
Hmm. Hmm.
complete this challenge. So with getting up and taking a toddler to school and making meals and then coming home clean, and I still got to do two workouts, and one of those workouts is outside, and I've done this challenge 3 times successfully. I found the time. That also brings to relationships. People do what they
Hmm.
want to do.
Hmm.
My daddy always said that people do what they want to do. If they wanted to,
Yeah.
then they would. Okay. So, if
Mm.
you want to lose weight, if you really truly want to lose weight,
Yep.
you'll find a way to do it. You'll do it. If you want to read that book, you will find a way to read that
Yep.
book.
That's true. It's
Mhm.
true. It's
So
all about
you were
mindset.
tired. You were tired of like, look, I'm tired of picking out these clothes. So you wanted to find an easier way, and you did. So if you want
I sure did.
a more balanced flow of
But
work in life, you will
I
find.
wish I had some place to be. I-
Why you say?
Sometimes I find myself like, dang, I got nowhere to be, so I can plan out some outfits.
Well, if you want
It
somewhere to
became
be, you
fun after a while, like matching up.
you.
Huh?
I said if you want somewhere to be, you'll find it.
Oh, true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
If
true.
you don't want to, you don't
That's
want.
true. Over.
Okay.
So, how do you manage conflicts with colleagues while maintaining professionalism? And you can think back to previous experiences since you work from home now,
Yeah.
but when you were working a lot with people, you can think back to some of those experiences.
Um, I would say, well, I'm trying to think. Okay, well, no, I did have one conflict, and I did have ownership in that, like at work.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, but like with leadership,
Hmm. Mm. Mm.
here is my thing, and this is why I realized that even though entrepreneurship was never on the radar for me, I'm gonna be honest. I was never one of those people who was like, oh yeah, I'm a, quit my 9 to 5 and I'm gonna do this. I was like side hustle because honey, I need to know where my check is coming from.
Right, right.
Not doing this full time
Hmm.
and foot all in my mouth. Um, but I realized after the fact, I'm probably I'm gonna say probably 100% show up like this in relationships too. But if I am
Hmm.
not aligned ethically, morally,
Hmm.
I lash out. So I am not a person who can stand by and watch other people be mistreated. I don't like to do shicey stuff to where we're backstabbing. Um, just like very undermining tactics and stuff like that's not my thing, you know.
Hmm.
Um, so when I say I lash out, I have been called militant. I have been called like aggressive.
I
That's
was wondering, I was like, she's not gonna say
aggressive.
it.
Because those things do make me get a low,
Mhm.
So, I remember we had a report that needed to be done, and this was at the height of 2008 when the market crashed, and it was like
Mhm.
we needed to get these reports done. Y'all, like we really got it. And so I'm like, what they're asking, because you got people at the top who really don't know the job. And so
Right,
I'm like, I
right,
know you don't know what you're asking.
right,
So then you would
right.
know we're not gonna get this.
Hmm.
Like we got mass amount of people needing help, trying to figure out finances and all this stuff like that. And you like, yeah, I need this report or da 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 da. And I'm like, today? Today?
Right.
So when he came down, because it wasn't my direct, report. It wasn't my leader, but it was the one over us. And, he came down with his little coffee cup and, that probably ain't got no coffee in it, but neither here nor there. Um, because why is it like 40 degrees outside and we inside and you sweaty down?
Oh,
Oh, okay. But anywho,
not a hot flash.
so he was just like, yeah. And so I was like, I have a question. He was like, yes, Ralph. And I was like, what happens when it's not done? And he was like, well, no, we're going to. I said, no, no, no. What is the consequence for when it doesn't get done? I want to know. He didn't have an answer.
Mm.
And so I used to be the one where like talking to my other like coworkers, and I'd be like, y'all dumb. Y'all gonna let these people try and threaten y'all? Not what's the threat? They can't fire all of us. I'm that
Right,
person at the
right,
job. I'm
right.
that person at the job. Like I walked into, work and it's like, hey Rob, hey, I'm gonna let you know right now, I'm only doing 35%. And once I complete that 35% of work, I'm doing what I want to do. Because I'm like, y'all out here stealing from people. Y'all are out here like doing these people wrong. This they money. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? You just like real shiesty stuff. And I don't. So then I start to lash.
Right.
So, but for the one incident with the actual coworker, it was another coworker who um wanted to invite us to a outside of work event, but she didn't want to invite one of the people that I ate lunch with daily. And um it's just that she just didn't feel like they meshed or whatever, but she still wanted the rest of us to go. And so I was like, "Oh, God, like how do I tell her like, hey, so and so wants, me, Candace, and Sharon or whatever to come, but she doesn't want you to come. And I wanted to go. And so I haven't said anything else yet. I don't remember. I don't think I said anything else yet to the other women. And I'm just trying to figure this out. Like I'm just like, oh, like because I didn't want to hurt her feelings, but then at the same time, I felt it was kind of high schoolish to be like, well, if you can't go, then none of us can go.
Right.
Because it was just an open event, and there was somebody else from the job that was coming too, and I wanted to go. So eventually, last minute, I approached one of the other young ladies and I told her because I'm like, I need help. I don't know what to do. And so I guess because it was so long ago, I guess she told her, but she was mad with me. The young lady who was being excluded was mad with me, thinking that I was trying to exclude her from the outing. So she approached me and she's like, "Can I talk to you?" And I said, "Sure." And so we went outside of the office and she was like, "Hey, I heard you were trying." I said, No, 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 no." I said, "Because I feel that we're friends. Why would I try to exclude you from?" I said, "I will admit that I have taken longer than what has been necessary to approach you with this information, but I was trying to figure out the best way to tell you." And then, she said she understood and she was like, "Well, I'm not going to go, all of y'all can go." And I said, "Well, no, thank you. I was really just trying to figure out, I did not want your feelings to be hurt. And clearly I had approached this the wrong way." And she,
Mhm.
and I apologized. She accepted my apology. And I'm thinking everything was good. I thought wrong.
Oh, God.
So, um, I don't even think we made it to the event yet still.
Mhm.
So, I think maybe like a couple of days might pass, maybe like one or two, when I mean like a couple. And so, I'm heading to lunch like we normally do. I'm heading to the break room to go warm up my food. I see one of the other young ladies, and I'm just like, well, hey, where everybody at? And they were like, oh, so and so was fixing their food, da da da. And so I'm asking where the one that I got into the situation with, and she didn't say anything. And I'm just like, what's going on?
Right.
And she was just like, I wasn't supposed to say anything. Say anything about what? And she was like, she's not going to eat lunch with us. I said, is she avoiding me? And she said, she just doesn't want to eat lunch with you. So she's avoiding me. And I said,
Right.
why? And she was like, because she feels that you were I said, but we already talked about this. I said I wasn't. I explained myself. I told her I handled the situation wrong. I apologized. She said I said, you know what? Forget it. Because I'm like, I'm not about to do this. Is dumb. I said, we are too grown for this. At
Right.
the time, we was like late 30s. She was in her 40s. I was like, y'all go eat lunch. I said, because I don't got to do this. So I don't got to eat lunch with nobody because,
Right.
I'm a lone wolf anyway. So I'm like, shit, I'll go back to my destiny. I'm like, because at this point, you came to me first, which I should already came to you and I apologize. You came to me and said, can I talk to you? And we talked about it. So now you're ducking me to not eat lunch when we just said everything was squashed. And I guess since you simmered on it or you talked to somebody else, now you mad again. That's on you. Because again, I'm going to be honest with my intent. After that, if you don't believe me, again, that's on you. So, and I leave it like that. That's how I'm just like, shit, there ain't nothing else I can do. If I did something
Right.
wrong, we'll apologize. If you don't accept the apology, then that's on you.
Right. 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 I mean, I don't, I too don't feel like I've had a lot of conflicts at work. And the reason that this question was asked, and just a tip for those that are like are like currently dating, or you're in the beginning phases of getting to know someone. This is a great question to ask, especially if they are working with, like say something like customer service or just with colleagues, because how they manage conflicts at work is probably going to be pretty similar to what they would do in your relationship. So that's why I thought of this question. But for me, I'm very direct.
Yeah.
Even at work, people are like, I can't believe that, because, and it's truly in doubt, because I'm pretty consistent with with who I am. Um, if I have a problem, they also know that I don't have a problem telling you that I don't like it. Uh, at the end of the day, you're gonna either like it or you're not. And I've been blessed to be in organizations now that don't see it as a weakness. They don't see it as being combative. They want to know what's not working so they can do better.
Right.
I will not work for anyone or contract, because I'm a contractor. I will not support anybody's organization that don't feel like they're the reason that they got an organization, really,
Mm-hmm.
because those are their workers. If they don't feel like they have a voice or what they say matters, I can't be a part. Period. Managing a conflict with colleagues. So in a meeting a few months ago, we were with one of my organizations. I train teachers on an early education software. So there was this precedent set. Mind you, I have been working for this organization as a contractor now for 4 years. Uh, and I am one of their oldest. I'm one of their oldest employees in that particular department. Um, so when I started during, the residual of the pandemic or whatnot. So a lot of tech was being bought to make sure students got what they need. So we weren't traveling, of course, because we couldn't go in schools. The kids could barely go in schools. So fast forward all these years later, they were like trying to mandate that we travel. And then they were asking, do we do things on the weekends? I was like, whoa, 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 pump the brakes. And they were like, well, why haven't y'all been doing that? I was like, well, because when we started this and it really took off, nobody was doing any
Mm.
of this. So this is the role was feasible for people who had other things going on, because you weren't asking us to travel. Now you're mandating it. And as a contractor, unless it's like that is the job, because my other contractor role, that is the job. That's what I signed up to do. I didn't sign up to do that with this.
Oh, okay.
So, but now they're trying to bring in more on-site trainings, which is fine. But it was this thing of, if you say no more than once or twice, then you might need to find another job. And I'm like, whoa, first of all, you will not be able to tell me, honestly, in a month that I have to go somewhere. I don't have flexibility like that in my schedule because I work
Hmm.
other things. So there are times where they'll be like, can anybody go in like 3 weeks? Or right now, if you ask me to do something in March, 2 of those weeks out of March, I could say no because I already have things on my calendar.
Yeah.
So I get how you would like, want to give this time for people to plan. The other difference is everything with this particular company is out of pocket for you and you get reimbursed. So even if I want to go do it, if I don't have the funds set aside for something like that, because I could have it, but if I didn't allocate it to have for something like that, I'm not doing it. No.
Yeah.
So and I told him, I said, I get that this is y'all policy, but this is your policy because I work as a contractor with another organization and I don't come out of pocket for anything other than fuel back in the rental tank and the fuel back in the rental car's tank, baggage fees and food, and those all get reimbursed. But to have to pay for a flight, hotel, and and rental car and all of that, y'all are crazy. It's like, well, if you have a credit card, no, y'all got a
Don't
credit
tell
card.
me how to use my credit
Y'all
card.
got a credit card. So that was one thing because everybody else is just kind of sitting in the background, like, oh, I guess this is what we're gonna have to do. And I'm like,
Yeah.
no, y'all
Yeah.
don't get to do this because
No.
at the end of the day, y'all can't have these customers without us.
Yeah.
So you make promises to customers and then tell us to meet the need. That's not fair. And I said that. Like, you don't get to make a promise on my time,
Yeah.
payment or not. You don't get to do that. Because of the other organization, I tell them when I'm going to travel. They
Hmm.
don't tell me. So I think it's just like those little slight differences that makes a break whether or not you have a happy employee. Now, if you want to fast forward to something more recent when working with um a colleague, um I think sometimes people think they can slick say stuff to you and you not respond because I'm a person me at first glance and first several encounters, you think I don't say much, you think I'm quiet, you think I don't have no clap back. But I love an opportunity to show I got that moxie. Okay. And someone said something to me about my presence being there, doing what I'm being paid to do. Um, and what was said, I won't say specifically
Why? Because
because
I want to know.
well, offline because just in the event that this is viewed by
They
one,
already said it.
yeah, but I shouldn't be carrying it. I can tell you.
You're
They're
not
basically like,
you're not carrying it. You're telling a story.
well, it was basically, oh, you're here again. You just come in and you watch us and then you leave. And
Okay.
yeah, but my response to that was, yes, that is my job. That's what I do. But it was almost, but how it was shared was
No,
as
I
if,
know, but it's like, girl, you got a problem because that's my job.
yeah. And it was shared in the way that it was shared because that person, when it's clear when no one is there watching, they're not always doing what they're supposed to do.
Oh, you
So
mad because
having
you
someone
were.
in more often watching, because and I say that not to throw them under the bus, but it's been seen, not just
No,
with
but
my
I'm mad because you're making me work. You making me,
basically,
yeah, I'm mad because you're
and the
making me
reason I'm
work.
here, and that's the whole reason I'm there.
Yeah,
Because the scores, the numbers are showing that something ain't happening.
right.
So yeah, you mad because and it was this passive aggressive
Yeah.
that
Honey, that boils my butt. Honey, that
I
boils
don't do well
my
with that.
butt.
I don't do well with that because I want you to say it with your chest all the way from the bottom, top, front
Yeah.
to back of your lungs and everything that surrounds it to protect them. Say it with all of that. Cause I like it's just a this may seem cocky, but it's okay. Toot. If I can spend 10 minutes looking at a lesson, walk in your room and teach the lesson, just as good, if not better than you, that's a problem.
Mm,
When I don't have none of those materials here, I'm being dead serious. I'm talking like the curriculum. If I could pick that book up, look at it for 10 minutes, walk in your room and teach that lesson, have your students engaged, they can tell me what they learned, and I don't have resources at my fingertips every day, that's a problem. That's why I'm there. So
yeah.
yeah, I'm here. I just come in, sit down, write, because the notes I write, the admin team knows everything that I do. I don't hide anything from them because I'm here to support them really,
Right.
because their teachers are a reflection of them, and they have, the school is an amazing school. There's an amazing admin team, and I personally have not worked for any school or organization that has admin as hands on as that admin team. I've worked for some really great organizations that give us the resources we need, but it was our responsibility to use the resources. They go over and beyond at this school, and the teachers still ain't doing it. So, yeah, I'm here twice a month, 2 to 3 days at a time, sometimes on Saturdays. And it's like, but the thing is, I'm there to help. But it was just like, oh, you here again? Yeah, because the state has asked us to come in at this point. But with that, because I was in the presence of children, I responded, and all I said was, "Yep, that's what I do," because I wanted you to know that I am going to respond to that. But I did also share it with someone from the admin team, because rightfully so, they were like, that person would have never responded to any of us in that way, and they shouldn't have done it to you either. But stranger things have happened. So that is like the gist of what I deal with in my
Snitch.
role now.
I'm
Huh?
I'm just kidding. I said you a snitch, but I'm just playing. I'm just playing.
Yeah,
I'm just
I
playing.
sure did. I sure did. Because it's like, when you keep saying you don't know what to do, but when people are there to help you, but then you come
And
at
you
me
want to
like
be
that.
sassy.
Oh yeah, I said it. I can call me a snitch, call me a rat, make me a charcuterie board with cheese, because this rat gonna eat it. Anything else? But I don't have anything else. Do you have anything else?
Um, no, no.
Do want to say to the masses to stay tuned. We are gonna start chitter chattering about an upcoming in person event
Oh, your
soon.
candy conversations.
Yes, for Candy Conversations, and we would love for you to be there. It's not going to be a large event, so um, it'll be first come, first serve, intimate, but we'll say more about that soon, so you can start making plans. If you have calendars that look anything like either one of ours, we understand that you're going to have to plan to be there. So, other than that, if you don't have anything else that you want to add.
I don't have anything. I hope everyone have a great day, great week. As always, keep it safe and sexy.